Hello, thanks for listening to another ep of 21 Questions. My name's Mike. I run trivia shows. I'm glad you're here. Let's go. Question 1. Which three-letter word means the area on top of the thighs of a sitting person, as well as one circuit around a racetrack? That would be lap, also the name of a type of dance. Anyway, let's just quietly move on. Question 2. In which year are the next Olympics due to be held? That's 2028. They'll be held in LA. That's the third time LA will have hosted the modern games. Only other city to host them 3 times is London. Question 3. Which animated movie is the highest selling DVD of all time globally with over 50 million copies sold? Is it Shrek? Is it Aladdin? Is it Finding Nemo? It's Finding Nemo, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that record probably won't ever be broken because we don't really buy DVDs anymore. We all stream stuff. So, Finding Nemo, probably the all-time undisputed champ of that one. Question 4 is always a true or false on this podcast. True or false? No other actor besides Tom Hanks has ever won back-to-back Oscars. You'd have to think someone must have done it at some point, and you'd be right. For example, Spencer Tracy won back-to-back Oscars for Captains Courageous in 1937 and Boys Town in 1938. That one was false. Question 5. What is the 23rd letter of the English alphabet? There are 26 letters in the alphabet, so W, X, Y, Z, so therefore it's W. Good-o. Question 6. Is the colour ube closest to orange, purple or green? Not to be confused with Uber that gets you home after a big night. Ube. It's a colour. Is it closest to orange, purple or green? Ube is a shade of purple. I miss the days when there were 12 colours. Remember when there was purple, there was orange, there's whatever. But now you go to Bunnings for the Australian people, or you go to the paint store for everyone else, and there are 50,000 different colours. Now there's eggshell white, there's American classic white, there's American antique white. Why do we need so many colours? I'm just saying, it's very confusing when you go to the paint shop. Question 7. Was the psychiatrist Sigmund Freud French, English or Austrian? Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, he was Austrian. After question 7, we do the first clues for the Who Am I for the ep. Today, it's a person. Who am I? I was born on July 13, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. Before I found success in Hollywood, I worked as a self-taught carpenter. In 1973, I got my first big break playing Bob Falfa in a movie called American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas. It was the first of many times that George and I worked together. Big name. Do you know who that is yet? Don't worry if you don't. There's more clues coming after question 14. For now, though, question 8. Was the barcode first patented in the 1950s, 1960s, or 1970s? Okay, so the barcode first was developed in the 1940s. It was patented in 1952, so that's the answer, 1950s. But it didn't really come into popular use until the 60s and 70s, largely because they didn't really have the technology to read it quickly. The barcode is based on Morse code, did you know? I did not. Question 9. Regarding the Dutch master Rembrandt, the painter, was Rembrandt his first or last name? Rembrandt was his first name. His last name was actually Smith. It so wasn't. I'm sorry. It was Rembrandt Harmenzoon van Rijn. V-A-N, van, Rijn, R-O-J-N. It would have been easier if he had just gone with Smith, to be honest. Question 10. Which Australian beer was first brewed in 1888 and is marketed internationally as Australian for beer? That's Foster's, and not only do I not know a single pub that sells Foster's in Australia, I don't know a single person that would willingly drink it. And a big hello to the Foster's people. Please don't sue me, I have no assets. Question 11. True or false? The Volvo company was formed by Heinrich Volvo, a Swedish engineer. That's actually false. Volvo was never a person. Volvo is a Latin word meaning I roll. Volvo was in fact started by Assar Gabrielsen, and he was the sales manager, and Gustav Larsen, who was the engineer who brought the automotive expertise and brought the whole thing to life. There you go. That's 11. Question 12. Yes or no? Does Iceland, as in the country, does Iceland have sheep? Iceland does have sheep. In fact, they have more sheep than people. There's 350,000 sheep in Iceland, and there's 320,000 people. Hello to Iceland. I have listeners in Iceland now. It's just crazy to me. I love it. Question 13. What was the name of the music event that across multiple stages and countries raised over $240 million US for famine relief on July 13, 1985? It was Live Aid, and I can remember sitting up all night watching that concert back in the day. Question 14. Which fictional work written by E.L. James was originally titled Master of the Universe and went on to become the fastest selling paperback of all time, eclipsing even the Harry Potter series? That would be 50 Shades of Grey. That was published in 2012. It sold 1 million copies in just 11 weeks, shattering the previous record held by Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code that I think we spoke about a little while ago. More clues now for the Who Am I? It's the American actor, carpenter, known for his collabs with George Lucas. Here we go. Who am I? I've starred in 2 major film franchises. The first one was set in space, and the other, I played an adventuring archaeologist, and both of those roles solidified my status as one of the biggest actors in the world. I'm going to say it now. This is not the hardest Who Am I I've ever done. Back to the questions now. Question 15. Which continent is the Togolese Republic on? Now, the Togolese Republic is generally just referred to as Togo or Togo, but it's Togo, I think, and that's in Africa. Question 16. In 10-pin bowling, which symbol represents a spare on a score sheet? In 10-pin bowling, a spare is represented by a /, and of course a strike is an X. Question 17. In sunlight, plants take in carbon dioxide and give out which gas? That would be oxygen. Question 18. Be afraid, it's a maths question, specifically it's trigonometry. What name is given to an angle that is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees? Greater than 90. Less than 180, that would be an obtuse angle. Less than 90 degrees is an acute angle. Good-o. Question 19, as always, is still alive or not so much. I give you a name, you decide if you think that person is still alive or not so much. Today, Henry Winkler, the actor who starred in Happy Days, Arrested Development, as well as the movie Night Shift. Is Henry Winkler still alive or not so much? Henry Winkler is still alive. He is 80 years old. He's an author as well as an actor now. He writes a series of children's books, Hank Zippler being one of the series, about a young person with dyslexia, which is something that Henry Winkler suffered from his whole life. He didn't even realise that he had it until his own kids got it, or at least that's what I read in an article somewhere. Question 20 is a music question. In the 1970 song Joy to the World by Three Dog Night, what kind of a living creature is Jeremiah? Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Dun, dun. I do apologise, but Jeremiah was a bullfrog. They say so in the song. Final clues now for the Who Am I? Who am I? I starred in Witness with Kelly McGillis, Working Girl with Melanie Griffith, and have played 2 American presidents, once in Air Force One and more recently in the Marvel Universe. But for some, I'll forever be Han Solo or Indiana Jones. I am, of course, Harrison Ford. Good old Harry. Excellent. That is the 21 questions that I promised you when you clicked on this podcast, but I've got a couple of bonus ones for you because at the end of each episode we do player questions where you, the listener, can send me in a trivia question that has caught your eye and I will ask the group. Last episode, Shannon sent in, who was the voice of Superman in the Lego Batman movie? And Shannon says it was Channing Tatum. Nice one, Shannon. This episode, Gillian. Now, I wonder if it's Gillian or Gillian. It's probably Gillian. Gillian with a G. This episode, Gillian has sent in the 1960s song by Donovan called Mellow Yellow, what is rumoured to be the drug that Mellow Yellow talks about? Got to tell you, Gillian, I had no idea that Mellow Yellow was about a drug at all. I'll be Googling that as soon as I finish this record. If you'd like to send me a trivia question, please do that. There's two ways to get it to me. 21 Questions by Trivia Tribe on Facebook. Send me a message there. Email me direct if you like, mike@triviatribe.com.au. I promise I will acknowledge your message and I'll add your question to the list and we will get to it in due course, as my accountant might say. I'm just kidding. I don't have an accountant. I'd love it if you could rate this show on the podcast app you are listening to this podcast on. That really helps me. That'd be great. Thank you. This podcast comes out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Meet me back here in a couple of days. We'll do it all again. I'm Mike van Acker. Thank you for listening. I love you. Catch you next time.